Okay, so I mentioned this in the previous video for the Dimir deck, that I think that Gix 3-drop is maybe not necessary. So I set out to test that. And I replaced it with a Kaito and Extract the Truth, because Extract the Truth was one of those cards where I was like, okay, I do want to test this more in the main deck because it does something that you cannot find in these colors, and that's interacting with enchantments. And since it's also a discard spell that hits most things in Standard, it seems like the downside of playing in your main deck is not that high. The only thing that it's kind of bad at is obviously you're not developing. So your overall board presence and your overall aggression is much lower with something like Extract the Truth instead of playing a creature, for example. So there's that. But the overall, the overall demeanor of the deck, I don't know if that doesn't, I don't think that works, but ignore the words I'm using. The way this deck should play with all these sweepers in the first place is more defensively. So in a way, it kind of fits in that. I'm just playing a more defensive version of the traditional Dimir or mid-rangey deck that kind of wants to play on curve and push your opponent to dangerous levels of HP until they, die to shield red or something like that. I'm more so trying to control the board and prevent my opponents from killing me and then turning around and killing them through Bad God or, overall card advantage for Kaito potentially, or Arc Fiend or stuff like that. You've got some big hitters, right? So stalling for those big hitters and then swinging with them or using their effects to kill my opponent is essentially the game plan for the main deck, with a better matchup against Boros than the traditional deck that is in blue and black, basically. And what else is different? We have an extra shield red now, because the Gix being out of the deck means that it frees up 2 slots overall, right? Because I'm not playing in the sideboard. So now we have an extra slot for shield red, and we have an extra slot for whatever I put instead of the, what was it? For Path of Peril number 4. Okay, I did lose to Boros once, and I got really frustrated because I did not draw a single sweeper with 5. And yeah, I did a Path of Peril. It's probably fine. But yeah, 2 slots that I really think are good. So the trade-off for Gix leaving the main deck is not a huge knock on the deck's power, I think, and it does upgrade my versatility in the sideboard. It ups my power in the sideboard in specific matchups where Gix was not good, like Boros. So yeah, anyways, I'll leave you with that since I covered most of this deck in the previous video. If you want to check that out, go ahead. But yeah, enjoy the gameplay, and I'll leave you with that. Alright, so I guess we'll really get to test this out, see how good Extract the Truth is. If it's really worth considering in the main deck or not. It's not looking great already. Mono red. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want this against mono red. It's probably not going to be too bad, but it's probably not better than anything else I could play. It's not too bad, actually. Getting Planeswalkers is very big, but this is a really bad matchup. Holy. Oh, yeah, of course. I feel like that's so dumb, man. I would never take that if I knew they had to. It's just so stupid. Oh. Nice update, by the way, Wizards. Nice. Game crashed immediately. It's been a while. It's been a while since the game crashed. But, yeah, good update. As always. I'm not really going to compare Extract the Truth to Pilfer, because in both situations they wouldn't be what I want to play in this matchup either way, so. But yeah, I think we just kind of lose the game here. I don't really see how I'm ever recovering from this position with the Forge coming down on this turn. I could bounce it, I guess. Yeah, maybe. You know what? Bouncing it is not the worst solution, I guess. The problem is what I need to find is probably the Bat God. But we're not anywhere near that. Okay, I guess I'm bouncing that. I do have my reefs, but they're most likely gonna die to the frenzy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind facing mono red if I wasn't playing exactly Dimir. This matchup, it's not like it's not terrible. Just my main deck is really not good against like specifically. I'm more so like I think you have to choose between being good against Boros and being good against mono red because they play a lot differently. Specifically with Dimir, with other decks, it's a little bit the correlation is there, but a little bit more between those two decks, but. I don't know. I mean, ideally I would wait. I think I have to wait. Because I have to take it, I think. Or no, I actually have to take the frenzy. How do I do this? I think I have an idea. I mean, it's a bad idea, actually. No, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. I think I have to tank this. It's tough. That changes everything. Their hand was like surprisingly good against me, even though I mean it's mostly my hand being bad. To be let's be honest, my hand was just bad. The forge is just brutal for a deck with zero. I mean, I basically my only good card in this matchup is I have two. I have Arcfiend and Bad God and Gixxum. Actually, I had good cards. Just like I'm not going anywhere with this and like land draws. Basically, probably not happening. It's a decent draw actually. Oh wait, they can just frenzy my bat. I kind of forgot this thing is so broken. You just cast it without any prerequisite. I guess I don't cast it then. I mean, just no point. Okay, I need my Bat God next turn, and then we maybe have a chance. Yeah. There's almost no point in not blocking for me. I mean, it's just irrelevant. Just save myself 1 HP, I guess. Whatever. I can block with a Reef temporarily. That's helpful. I wish I had one more mana, kind of forgot I was playing that. Wait, this matchup is not terrible. This matchup is not terrible. I'm just facing like a really weird variant of mono red with the Forge. Otherwise, it would have been easier. Because like this is basically infinite card advantage for them because I can't interact with it, and they're not under pressure. Okay, so no interaction is good for me. That's a start. Opponent's sick of blue-white. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's good against blue-white. I can't disagree with that. Blue-white notoriously not the best at dealing with artifacts in the main deck. Some are starting to respect it a little bit more, though. I think a lot of people are into the white march. Yeah, white march. White march. At least Arcfiend is really good in this matchup because these sacrifice themselves. So I can get a lot more value here. So let me think about this. Am I... Yeah, I have to block this way, right? Yeah. Doesn't that mean I could trade, though? And go up one? It's guaranteed lethal for me, right? I just have to make sure I don't die on this turn. Lifelink, I go up to 7. This should be fine. Yeah, March is the best answer, and it's not even that good, so it's still definitely worth playing. Actually, I'm very impressed that I won this. But they did brick a little bit in the mid game as well. Oh, there's my bad. I got a little bit too late, but it is what it is. Okay, yeah, Arc Fiend is a nightmare for mono red sometimes. Sometimes. Just 6 toughness, really good against most of the 5 damage spells, and then obviously the passive of the 2 life loss can be really brutal when you're racing. And Preacher is obviously an amazing card, yeah. Yeah, this deck is not as bad as I was just frustrated with the fact that I drew really poorly against mono red in general. Like, I didn't find, any of my bigger bodies. I didn't find much interaction. And their hand was really good with the 2 things I can't interact with, but yeah, thankfully I found stuff in time, barely in time, thanks to the Explore and stuff. Okay. And yeah, Path of Peril is just not good. Specifically, it's funny because it is actually reasonable against traditional mono red, but it's not great against Forge mono red. Because they don't really care about their creatures, they just care about the Forge living. So then if you play reactively, they're going to beat you eventually. You have to play proactively at some point, so I was just waiting for like my proactive cards. Thankfully we found them. Tidebinder is good at dealing with the Forge. What do I think about Cryptic Clock? I do not know what that is. And I'm assuming that if I don't know what it is, it's probably bad. But I could be wrong. Like I don't know, maybe it's like a hidden OP card. Oh, Cryptic Coat? I think I've gone over this in my video as well. I don't think Cryptic Coat is good. You can go watch the video if you want to take on it. Essentially, it's bad against aggro, so it's bad. Like, it's just not worth playing, I think. Schooner is really interesting. I think it's probably Kaito. I mean, Kaito's just mediocre. It's interesting. I think Negate is actually good. I'm not even joking. I actually think it's good against them. I mean, Negate in general is good against mono red. It's just the problem is when you're trying to stabilize, you don't have the time to hold up the counter spell. So that's the awkward part about Negate. Like, it's theoretically going to be good, but in what position can you actually afford to hold up 2 mana for a counter spell? So it's more of like a mid game thing, but it is really good at doing the mid game thing. So. No turn 1. So that is one weakness that you can kind of open yourself to when you're playing big mono red, is the fact that your overall aggression is much lower. So that's a good thing for me. This is an interesting spot. It's pretty obvious to have an interactive spell, right? Yeah. So actually, it could be the land. But do I just want to be mana efficient and just hold up the Go for the Throat? Probably. You like Duress versus mono red? I like Duress against mono red. Depends on what they're playing though. Against like the really aggressive mono red, I'm still kind of, I'm usually okay with Duress. I don't think it's necessarily that good, but I think it's kind of a necessity in some decks where you don't have a way to like keep up with their, mana efficiency and their pressure. In that situation, you kind of have to rely on a card like Duress. But it is specifically good against my opponent here with the 5 damage spells, with the Planeswalkers, with the Forges. I don't think they're going to have instant speed 4 damage, so if they want to take care of this, it's either 2 spells or 1 spell in their turn. I'm kind of waiting for them to maybe run out of interaction. Okay, that's annoying. It's a pretty difficult card for me to deal with overall. Okay, that's good. Okay, we get double procs here. That's big. Insane.
I'm tougher than you.
Actually, no, that's really good, right? I should always. Like, even countering the ability is worth a lot here. Tidebinder, just doing the Tidebinder thing where it's like, it feels like every situation that you're in, it's always going to be good in some way. Like, every deck has like, some kind of effect that... What? Don't tell me that can deal 4 damage. Okay. I got scared. If they had a 4 power creature... Oh, I don't get a 1/1? Oh. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I did not know the wording on Preacher was attack a player. I did not know that. Okay, so does that mean I was supposed to not attack? I think I still had to attack the frickin' Koth though. Decent hand. On the draw though. Mirror? Ooh, what the? Weird. At least Schooner is good in this matchup, but it depends if they have a Preacher. That's fine.
No secret. There's no secret I can't uncover.
Uh-oh. I was not really expecting that, but I should have known, right? Pretty obvious. Don't think that's gonna help me at all. I can sweep. It would give them back reenact, which is really weird. I think I have to sweep with the command at some point. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I should have kept that on top just to get the stats? Because the stats matter, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
I don't think they have much interaction, so I might be okay. Temporarily. I do think this matchup is pretty good for me in general. It's just post board though. Main deck I should be losing most of the time. Okay, they have the mana now. Ooh. Yikes. I could, like... Nah, they'll keep Kaito around, right? I have no choice here. Just play Shield Red. Hope that that's enough somehow. Shield Red can win. Maybe. I think I have to attack this just to put this in range of just flyers next turn. Because they're definitely gonna block here. They can't afford to lose a permanent that isn't a creature, I think, but we'll see. So this can become a copy, but it's so expensive. Okay.
I learned what I needed.
That's kind of alright for me, honestly. Oh, okay, it's not. That was really unfortunate, but... I mean, still, actually, no, it still is. The Kaito is more valuable than the creatures on the board. So even if they do reanimate Atraxa, which I guess they won't, they're gonna do... They're gonna loop me and I lose? Yeah, okay. Whatever. It is what it is. You're just gonna lose game 1 to this sometimes, and yeah. So if I knew that was gonna happen, the problem is I didn't know that was gonna happen. If I knew it was gonna happen, I would have, you know, crewed the bat, attacked Kaito, and then swept. But they have no reason to lose the permanence that isn't a creature because I have more answers for creatures. So yeah, they're gonna do that. Yeah, sure. See if I lose. Yeah. I don't know. I still need more stuff, but they can get a track sent to breach. I mean, my stuff is not very valuable. Oh, there's bad guy, unfortunate. That's probably game over no matter what then. If they get a Traxa... Oh, they have this guy, yeah. Might as well concede. Get it over with. Okay. It is what it is. On to the next game. I don't think Extract the Truth is very good. But it's not terrible either. I don't know, it's mediocre. I just like kinda whatever. I don't know. Like it might be good. But I need room anyways, so I don't have room for it. Kaito, I don't have an answer for. I guess Lily is kind of dangerous, but it is also an answer for creatures, so I don't have to plus it. I can just use it as a creature answer. Tidebinder is fine. -3. Probably shield red. Can't cut, can't cut. Can't cut. It's gotta be Lily then, screw it. Can't cut this. Can't cut that. Can't cut that. Probably shield red, I mean... As good as it is, it's also a 4-drop, and I want to hold up Counterspell. Like past, around turn 4, I just can't play Shield Red unless I'm 100% sure that the coast is clear. But in that case, I'd be okay with like literally anything. That's not super good, but some elements are there. I really want like something like Duress or like Cut Down to like weave in, because my tempo is going to be super low if this doesn't work out. Okay, that's bad. Oh, no, that's actually really bad. Oh wait, they have no 2-drop. Oh, all tap lands. Okay, we're in it. We're in it. It would have been bad if they had the 2-drop curve out here, but they don't even have Kaito turn 3. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we're fine, we're fine. Okay, we're okay. Sure. Good, not right now though. Very good. Okay. Again, this post board, this matchup is very, very good for me. Just counter Kaito. Just next turn. I need another land. Or they can play that, I guess, whatever. I want to take 1 damage, I can't. Ah, no pain land. It's fine, I want to draw more than anything. Okay, sure. I don't even know if taking Kaito's correct there. I think it is. It probably doesn't matter. The only thing I know I can't take is probably cruelty. No. Okay. I just counter Kaito, it's fine. Okay, perfect. Alright. Good to go. Preacher doing the thing. Alright. Have at it. Let's remove some stuff. Probably most expensive. Sorcery only. Okay. Good. I don't really need to do anything, right? I was gonna say maybe I eat now, but like, what's the purpose? There's no purpose. The only thing that's annoying is that the case is instant speed, so like I do have to weave around that a little bit potentially. But it can only grab a spell that was put there that turn, so I only have to do it if I'm scared of the spell actually being used. Right now they have 2 permanents. Okay. Sure. I mean, that's they probably have nothing else, so this is definitely like reasonable. Okay. Guess I grab like permanence probably because of the sweeper. It's not lethal, right? Is it? No, it's not. can do 4 more damage, but I don't think it's not lethal. Alright, now there's absolutely nothing they can do here. Even if I misplay. Well, the misplay would be not casting my spell, which would be unfortunate. Okay. That's step 1. I mean... They still have a lot of removal, which is fine, but also I need to be careful about like actually having creatures that can attack. But I really don't see what I can do outside of what I'm already doing. Even though I want some of these cards, it's not better than anything else I'm playing. The only thing I'm considering is maybe dropping Shield Red. Or more interaction like Lily, which I think is actually correct. Yeah, just because I can answer a creature. Like, just being able to answer a creature guaranteed, I think is worth something. They don't have that many creatures. Nope. That is not good. I might lose with this. This is like kind of... I have no interaction, but I mean... Whatever. Maybe... No, this bounce is kind of worthless. I need to draw removal. Good thing I added Lily. I'm gonna really need it here. Okay, getting rid of Kaito is a step in the right direction. It is really massive. That's also good. It's kind of like a removal spell, but I'm not going to be able to play that anytime soon. So yeah, if they hit it here, we're in trouble. Maybe I do have to hold it up. Maybe I do have to hold it up. Just to counter the activated ability, but then how does that get me any closer to winning? I think I have to Preacher. It is the only creature that can start things for me in a meaningful way. So I'm gonna have to gamble on them not having the 2 parts of the combo that they need. Okay, that's interesting. Now I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is correct now to hold up the Tidebinder. I have a guaranteed follow-up. But it is still like pretty weak, but it's too late now. I already committed to that, so now I have no choice. This is now my only line of play. And it's okay, I guess. Like, it's really mediocre, but okay, sure. Same situation. The problem is, how do I get out of this? Because I'm in this loop, this permanent loop of holding up stuff. And I'm not going to be able to get out of it. So I need them to discard something. I don't want them to reanimate this turn. Oh, that's not it. So, yep. Damn, having no interaction is a nightmare. No bat, no removal spell. No anything. Don't I have to Mirax because I'm going to lose anyways? Like, if they have it. I'm having a hard time seeing how I win this game by just passing here. But I guess it gives me one more turn to find an answer for that. No. If this was not in the field, like, this matchup is so easy. if I just get rid of that. Okay, now again, I need them to discard something. I don't care about them getting back. Okay, there we go. Now I can Mirax. And I need a damn removal spell. It would put me in such a good position. Or at least a counter spell. Something. At least something. I don't know. Give me something. I can get things started finally. They do also have a blocker, so I have to be... I think they will choose to animate that. It's a good start, I guess. I mean, could have been land. I'm gonna bring this out just to give it the stats. I want it to be able to block this, potentially. Or I can attack, maybe. I might attack. I should attack. I need the freaking thing. Sure. The trade is actually good for me, I would say. Well, it's fine. It's not a trade. Sure. If this was untapped, it would make a world of difference next turn. Single removal spell would have changed the entire game. A single removal spell. That's pointless. Good for me, at least. -1 card. Somewhat relevant. Sure. Just give me a removal spell, please. Pretty sure it's gonna be Schooner, but who knows. It kinda has to be. Untap land. Okay, we're moving, we're moving. We're moving in the right direction. Now I'm gonna have to counter this, which is annoying. Unless they don't find the land for it. Would be a better situation. And then I need some kind of follow-up. Okay, that's a problem. I have to kill that. But I have so much removal. Come on. Okay. That is helpful. Very helpful. Now they can't transform into anything relevant. So now I don't care as much about it. I should have attacked first. But still, I think I would always do that. Yeah, I would not play that. Overhearse there. Otherwise it can transform. Alright, my one counter spell. my singular counter spell, but it dodged the duress, so the best counter spell I could have had. Now the problem is if they you know, transform. They could still transform theoretically if they find, you know, a land, and also if they have the creature to put in the bin. The good news is now I have to worry less about Virtue as well. So that's huge. Just eat in reaction, but then it's less flexible for like actually taking the win cons that they'll put in the graveyard, but still fine. If they spend their entire turn doing that, it's alright. We're still not there, yo. We're still not there. Because once they cast a spell I have to counter, I'm back in a bad situation. Okay, they've actually found it. That's unfortunate. They need a land, though. That's pretty unlucky. Okay, they found out tap land. It was my misplay, right? This says target, right? Yeah, okay. It was my misplay to activate the hearse there, actually. I didn't get punished, but it was 100% a misplay. I didn't realize that was target until I thought about it. Like, I just assumed they could just transform, but it would be a triggered ability anyways. Okay, I do not want to... That's good. Do we open with that, though? Let's say probably. Amazing. They didn't loot either, so... But I guess looting would have done nothing. Never mind. Why did I even mention that? They would have dodged the rest, but they lose the card anyways. Oh no, wait, they don't. No. I was correct. They could loot and then find something that isn't. Yeah, okay. No, never mind. So I don't need to activate the hearse, right? I can do it in response.
You're telling me what you know about the ring.
What? Cool. They'd rather keep the Rona? Huh. Huh. Interesting. I guess they just assume the hearse will just counter that. Makes sense, but... Like, wouldn't you still want to try? Wouldn't you still want to try? Because you can screw me over by doing it on my turn, and then I have to eat in response, and then you can do your thing. Or even if you have Virtue, you can force me to take when this procs, and then activate this in response to me activating. So it has to be a mistake, but still. Is this lethal? Is a good question as well. It is. Yeah. Cool. Just go for it then. I'm surprised I won this actually, but no, I'm not surprised I won this. This matchup is really bad for them, so it's not that surprising. It's just like the way I drew, I wasn't I was definitely not guaranteed to win the way I drew at all. I did not. I found enough elements. Yeah, I found like barely enough basically because I was so slow to like do anything until I was actually set up with the hearse and stuff like that. That they had a few opportunities, I think, to screw me over, but yeah. Or like they had a lot of opportunities because the moment I have to use my Urtai, I'm in a really bad spot because the next spell, it's just whatever they want. Literally, the next spell, all they had to do was cast anything that I have to counter, whether that be, you know, the freaking reenact the crime, it could be cruelty, it could be hard cast, you know, the 6/6 that uses the evidence, it could be, I don't know, I'm sure there's other things, but whatever it is, the moment I have to move, I'm in a really bad spot.